Laocoon, a priest chosen by Lot for Neptune, or a priest for Neptune chosen by Lot, was sacrificing toward the solemn altars a huge bull. Behold, however, twin snakes from Tenedos through the tranquil waters. I shudder retelling, with huge coils, no, with huge eyes, immense eyes, or immense orbs means immense eyes. They brood upon the sea, and equally toward the shores they tend. Raised chests, whose raised chests are the raised chests of whom, between the waves and blood-red crests, or manes, they conquer the waves. So the raised chests and the blood-red crests conquer the waves. The remaining part behind skims the sea, and the remaining part folds huge backs in a coil. A sound is made with spraying salt, and now they were holding the fields, as in they were up on land, suffused. Let's see. So burning eyes suffused with fire and with blood, and you can read the footnote on this, but this participle is imitating that Greek construction where suffused is taking an object, or alternatively this can be viewed as a Greek accusative of respect. So they say suffuse with respect to their eyes. So suffuse with respect to their eyes, and we talked about this part taking up a Greek accent. They were licking hissing mouths with vibrating tongues. We flee from the sight bloodless. They, in a certain battle line, or in a fixed battle line, seek Laocoon, and first, the small bodies of the two suns, and we were talking here about how if the snakes coiled around like this, then you would see snake body of the kid, like if this is the little boy in there, and then snake, and then the body of the kid again. So you'd have snake body, and here we have the accusative, genitive, imitating the snakes. That interlocked word order this in cases. The serpent, having embraced each, entwines and feeds on the miserable limbs with a bite. Afterwards, he himself running for help, or coming down for help, and bearing weapons, they snatch. So now they snatch Laocoon, and they bind with huge coils, and already having embraced twice the middle, twice the scaly bodies they give around, so they give, having given around the neck, they conquer with brackets their head and with high necks. They conquer with head and with high necks. And this temesis here is a rhetorical device where you take a compound verb, circum datus, and you chop it into two parts. Some people say maybe it shows the bodies were being ripped apart as well, but it depends how gruesome you like your interpretation. He, at the same time, with hands tries to tear apart knots soaked with blood, and garlands soaked with respect to blood, or headbands, and with dark venom. So the headbands are dripping, or his hair is dripping with dark venom and with blood. Shouts at the same time horrible. So horrible shouts at the same time to the stars he raises, just as mooing, or like a bellowing, when a wounded bull flees the altar and shakes an uncertain axe from his neck. So if there's an ill-aimed axe during a sacrificing of a bull, then the bull might not die, and it might just flee the altar and shake the axe out of its neck. And twin snakes with a glide toward the highest shrines flee, and they seek the tower or the citadel of cruel Minerva. Underneath the feet of the goddess, underneath the orb of the shield, they are hidden. Then, a new terror through trembling hearts creeps through trembling hearts for all. So for everyone, or with reference to everyone, a new fear creeps through their trembling hearts. And they consider, this often can mean they say or they consider, like we hold these things to be self-evident, so in Latin as well, the verb to hold can mean to consider. They consider Laocoon deservingly to have paid the crime. And here we get a relative causal clause with a subjunctive, because since he, the sacred oak with a spear head, wounded and had tossed or had thrown or hurled the evil spear in the back. They shout that the statue is to be led up to the seats, or led up to like the foundations, and that the divinities of the goddess, or the divine powers of the goddess, are to be beseeched. We divide the walls, and we open the walls of the city. All surround for the work, and they put underneath glidings. They put underneath the feet glidings of wheels, and that should be a dative. So they put underneath the feet glidings of wheels, as in like maybe logs or some sort of wheels to help move the horse along, and they extend hempen chains on the neck. The fatal machine climbs the walls, pregnant with arms or with weapons, and all around or around the boys and the unwed girls sing sacred songs, and they rejoice to touch the cable with hand. So all the little kids are happy seeing this horse. It glides, or it goes to the middle of the city, and it glides in, threatening the city. O fatherland, and here we get a break from the narrative, which is to address someone called an apostrophe and personification. O fatherland, O home of the gods, O Troy, and O distinguished or famous walls famous in war of the Dardanians. So famous walls of the Dardanians, and what are they famous in? They're famous in war. 4 times in the threshold itself of the gate. In the threshold of the gate itself is stopped, and 4 times the weapons gave, this is syncopated perfect, a sound from the belly. We press on, nevertheless, unremembering or unmindful and blind with furor or with rage, or madness is better, and blind with madness, and the unfortunate or the wretched monster we established on the sacred or consecrated citadel. Then even Cassandra opens mouths for future fates, and not ever believed by the Trojans, or with reference to the dative of age, not ever believed by the Trojans by the order of the god. And or you could do this, maybe footnote says dative of age, but maybe an ablative works there as well. We miserable ones, the shrines of the goddess, gird or deck with festive frond through the city, and we miserable ones, for whom that day would be the last.